HDMI. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey everybody, welcome. We're back here at the Roborace Technical Center garage in Las Vegas, Nevada in the US. And we have a special edition today. We're going to do a little behind the scenes with the teams that are competing in rounds 5 and 6 of Season Beta this coming weekend. So welcome everyone. This is kind of a casual setting. Just ask some questions, kind of see what goes through your minds as we do these events. So I'll just do a quick round of introductions. I'm going to start in the upper left-hand corner. It's Danilo from University of Pisa. Hey Danilo, how are you? Good to see you. And then next to him is Marcus. Marcus is from Autonomous Racing Graz in Austria. Hey Marcus, how are you? Good to see you.
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
Good, good. Welcome, welcome. And then we have Alexei from Arrival Racing. And Alexei,
Yep.
where are you today? Where are you located?
Actually, I'm at home in St. Petersburg, Russia.
You're in St. Petersburg, Russia. Oh, interesting. So probably just across the street is Ilya, your competitor. So we have Ilya from Acronis SIT Racing. Hey Ilya, how are you?
Hey Chip, I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. And you're in St. Petersburg as well, right?
Not really. So I am in my hometown in Innopolis right now, but our team is like officially based in Schaffhausen.
Yes. Yeah, we do have a truly international footprint, and for people following here, because we are autonomous racing in COVID times, it's allowed us to continue to go as travel has been very difficult and there are different restrictions from government to government. What we've been able to do is kind of pivot to what we call a remote competition, and what that means is that the teams are all staying in their hometowns. They send their software solutions to us. Our operations team load those software solutions onto the cars, and then we do the competition that way. And the teams monitor in real time what's happening. We set up a Discord channel, and we go all the way through, and we do the competition that way. So a big pivot for us. Normally, the teams would be here with us in Las Vegas, and hopefully we'll be able to do that someday, but I think this has been really great practice for us. So great job to all of you and your hard work for kind of pivoting to these remote competitions. So I'm going to kick it off, and we'll figure out kind of the best way. If anybody wants to jump in with an answer, just go ahead and jump in with an answer. But I thought we'd kind of look at it from the global perspective, looking at episodes 5 and 6, and ask, what is the primary target of your participation in Roborace in general? So if anybody wants to jump on that, I'd love to hear, why are you doing Roborace? If nobody
Yeah, I think
answers,
I
I
can
will
jump.
call on someone.
Yeah, I can answer. So we have actually two goals. So I can say we have long-term goal is to develop a algorithm which can control the car at the high speed, and we call it to develop such called AI safety system, which can avoid crashes and avoid collisions with obstacles. And we believe that Roborace is a good environment to develop and to test this type of system. And we believe in the long term we will have such system, and we can try our system in a public road. And I think that it's a good that our target is to be able to control the car as a professional driver. So, and we can just imagine how safe it be if car can control as a professional race driver in emergency cases and avoid obstacle and avoid collisions in the public road as a professional driver. So I think we will have much less crashes and collisions in the public road. That's our long-term goal. But
essentially what you're saying is it's kind of professional race driver training for AIs. So as we go through and we push all of the teams here through edge case scenarios, it should make the AI and the AI's responses much higher performance, and therefore outperforming a typical human driver in emergency situations.
Yes, correct. Yeah, and that's a long-term goal. But for short term, I mean, for the next event, there's pretty obvious goal is to show the best what we can and adapt to the new requirement, to the new rules of this event, and to be able to avoid dynamic obstacles and overtake them. So that's our short term.
Yeah, no, good point. And we spent a little time in the live yesterday talking about the rules for this event. And for people that have followed the Roborace Season Beta Championship so far, we obviously debuted Metaverse with static objects. So in other words, those objects are just standing in place. And for this event, we're adding a pretty high degree of complexity, having dynamic obstacles or dynamic objects. And those dynamic objects will be moving across the track. So as all of you as teams are planning your path, you need to take into consideration not where the object is, but where it's going to be going. So it's a little bit like when you're driving your car on the road. It's one thing to have to drive around a rock in the road or something. It's quite another thing if there's a dog running out into the road or a bicyclist that's coming at you. You have to be planning around that and planning where they're going to go. So that is a big part of the challenge here. Did anyone else want to kind of jump in and kind of talk about what their primary target of participation in Roborace is?
Yeah, actually, from our side, for the rival racing, the main purpose is all the same as for SIT and I believe for other teams. So for us, the participation of in Roborace is all about testing our algorithms at higher speeds in safe environment. So honestly, we don't afraid of like crashing the car, but honestly we don't want to do it. But in any case, the environment is like it's absolutely fine to do that like once or twice, just to test the new algorithms and push them to the limits.
No, sounds good. And just kind of talking quickly about the short-term goals for this mission. Anybody else want to chime in with any short-term goals for this mission?
Yes, so in our case, like the last event was still quite difficult with that obstacles, but like you said, the challenge is now much more complex because the obstacles are moving around and there are things which need to stuff. You also see how the other cars are moving or the obstacles are moving, so you have a perception which needs to run quite well, and then of course the planning needs to fill the behavior, and you need also to control the car in a quite well behavior.
You guys are all so polite. I mean, nobody's come out and said we just want to win and we want to dominate and we want to crush the competition. Is there any element of that there?
Of course, everyone I think would like to win, but the challenges are quite hard and the test time is so limited. So in our case, the races are more like test the thing. So
you guys are all so nice. Your mothers would be very proud, very proud. I know what happens though. Once we go into competition mode, all of this changes. It's very interesting to see the shift that happens. We talked a little bit, and Marcus, you just talked about the dynamic objects that we're going to be dealing with, and I know all of the teams have been working on that. You know, first in way back, discussions happening back in last November about how we would progress during season beta, and then we got into the point where we've been able to develop that. We've gone through a new simulator release, and you've been working on it in the simulator, and then more recently, last weekend, we did a full test. How difficult and how challenging has it been dealing with the dynamic objects in this mission for the first time? Maybe you can just kind of share, has it been easier than you thought, harder than you thought? And if it has been hard, what have some of the main challenges been?
Okay, so I can start probably. Actually, for us, this mission we have two improvements, and honestly, this is not the most adorable thing in the world from the engineering perspective. To try to change two different parts of the software at the same time. So, I mean, the first one, we need to implement the dynamic obstacle support to try to predict where they will be in like seconds or 2 or 10 seconds. And second change, I mean, we need to, so increased penalties for the obstacle skid. And in this part, we need to enable and properly test our following mode when we not like hit the obstacles, but try to follow them. And when the pass is free, only then overtake them. And for now, we have only one test session, and honestly, we tested only one things of these two, and the second one, I really don't know how reliably it will behave on the main event, and this is the most difficult part from our side.
If it's not clear to everyone listening, all the teams want more testing time, so we're working on that. We're working on that for them. So you know, with COVID, we've had a little bit less testing time than we would like, but it is actually coming up in March. We'll have more testing time than we have in February. So that'll continue to get better. The teams can do a better job. The next question, I want to go around the table. So we had the team testing last weekend, and just wanted to find out kind of how did the test go? You know, Marcus, maybe we'll start with you. Just tell us how did the test go, and kind of if you had to sum it up in, you know, two or three words, what were the words about the test that you could sum it up with?
Yeah, I would say it was good. So during the we changed most things underneath the algorithms, so this worked quite well. And so we needed to use the only one test date to test basic functionality, and then we didn't have a lot of time to test our dynamic planning. So it wasn't really successful. In the simulation, it looked quite well. Out of the car, it's not working well.
Yeah, well, you know, we'll have another session for you, although a fairly short session coming up tomorrow, and then we go into competition. So I mean, everybody will, you know, we'll see what we have at that point. Alexei, how did things go for you in arrival racing in the test?
Yeah, it actually went quite well. So yeah, we've tested everything we wanted, and everything we prepared for the previous test, for the past test session, and yeah, so everything is fine as expected, with no issues at all. So yeah, everything is good.
That sounds like some quiet confidence to me. We'll look forward to see how it goes this weekend.
Yes, actually,
Danilo?
we do have some confidence. Yeah.
Okay, good, good. Danilo, how'd things go for you guys in the University of Pisa team? Danilo, can you hear me? We're not getting your audio. We'll check that and we'll come back to you. And Ilya, I know you guys were slamming to get prepared for the test, and how did it go for you?
Yeah, we saw that we were prepared to the test. We test everything in simulator, in hardware in the loop simulator, but during the test, it went not as we planned, and we found some issues that we didn't face before the track session. And actually, right now, you know, in quantum physics, there is some effect called Schrödinger cat, but I think we found such issues in our code, and we call it Schrödinger bug, and we don't know either we fix it or not, because we can reproduce only this bug during the testing on the track. Since we have only one test session on the track, we don't know either we fix it or not. So tomorrow we'll check it and understand either we resolve this issue or not. So meantime, we think that based on our testing in simulator, in hardware in the loop simulator, our software is quite stable, but we need to see how it will go tomorrow during the mock-up run.
Interesting. Yeah, it sounds to me like we might need to come back to our audience with just a quick update tomorrow on how things went for testing, so we can kind of get them ready for the race weekend. So I'm looking at Ivan, who I work with here, and Ivan, I think we're going to have to do a quick update tomorrow when we're done with testing. So a really general question now is, and I kind of know the answer to this one because I'm kind of front and center, and even though you guys aren't all around us, we have you on Discord, we see you and we hear your voices and everything, but the question is how stressful are the races for you? And when I say the races, I mean, how stressful is it when you're on track? What's that like? You know you're going to be out there for 15 or 20 minutes, and you have a 20 or 30 minute slot. What's that like for all of you?
Yeah, I can say for us. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, please.
I'll give both of you a chance. So somebody, Ilya, you go.
Okay,
you go for it, and then we'll come to Alexei.
Okay, yeah, for us it's very stressful. in short, it's kind of like a direct adrenaline shot into your heart. So
yes.
it's very stressful, and we like holding our breaths when we see how our car is going, and also it's also additional degree of stress because we don't see actually how we're performing. We are behind the screen, we're not on the track, and it's adds nerves and adds stresses to the race. So yes.
I'm sure, and Alexei will
Can
let
you hear me now?
kind of answer that too. But Alexei, before you talk, we've known each other for a while now, and I think the first time I met you was at Goodwood for the first run up the hill at Goodwood with Robocar, and we never said a word to each other, but I literally have never seen someone so stressed in my entire life. I could feel it. So tell me what it's like now when your car's out on the track, and what's it like for you and the team?
Yeah, actually, we still feel a lot of stress and nervous during the run, and also we feel that there is some delay between the actual car behavior and what do we see on our screens, and these 1 or 2 seconds are really exciting and nervous, and each time you think what happens there, and only a couple of seconds after you realize that everything is okay and everything goes well, but with sometimes the remote screen lagged for 5 or 10 seconds, and this time we as a team feel a lot of stress, and yeah, that's basically it. And everything ends only after the latest lap. Also, I can hear that some of the car bleeding the braking system, as far as I understand.
Yeah, that's happening behind me. So, Alexei, I'll stay with you for a moment, and I will get around to some of the others. So, when you're not under huge amount of stress when you're on the track, or you're working on a simulator, what do you do to relax?
Actually, we have a lot of projects in Rival, part of Roborace. The Roborace project is the most stressful, exciting, and time challenging, let's say. On the weekends, I would like to go for a walk, do my hobby stuff, spend a lot of time with my family, and so on. Some kind of boring stuff, nothing really interesting.
It's just kind of taking a look at the standings right now, and you guys are doing quite well. But we have a tight battle going. How about you, Ilya? What do you do to relax?
It's simple. I'm switching activities, and for me, it's spend some time with my family and also do some sports. I love like running, long running, so do some physical exercises. That's the best for me.
Cool. Marcus, how about you?
No sound.
Yeah, we don't have your audio for some reason. Okay, I'm going to move on to Danilo. We'll try to get that fixed. Let's see if Danilo's audio is back. Danilo, if you
can you hear me?
Thumbs up.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, we hear you. We hear you. What do you?
Okay, great.
No, so first, two-part question. How stressful is it when the car's out on the track, and what do you do to relax?
So stress is like the normal situation in Roborace. Like it is really stressful because imagine, I don't know how hard it is, but you have to imagine, like the other said, that a car is running on the other side of the world, and you can actually see it, but also with some sort of delay. So there are always, quick release cycles. It's very stressful. And of course, to relax, you have to, I think you have to disconnect from all of this. So my favorite activities about relaxing do not involve technology at all. So I really like to go working on, just completely disconnecting. And I find it very healthy also, to recharge the batteries and everything else. So yeah, this is it.
Cool. So we talked about stress, and then we talked about relaxing, and then I'm going to bring everyone back to a stressful moment again. So the way this works is each of you have different number of team members, but there are 4, 5, 8 team members. I mean, our team from MIT has more team members than that. And when you're in a test, or more specifically when you're in a race, each team member kind of has something that they're working on, and they have maybe even an area of specialty. And my question is when you're kind of under the gun and you're in the heat of the moment, and you're trying to come up with a solution, and let's say that the car doesn't start right away or anything. Do you guys have arguments over what to do next? And if you do kind of have a difference of opinions of what you needed to do when you need to react quite quickly, how do you resolve those issues? Or is that a challenge for all of you?
I can start on that.
Yeah,
so in our case, it's really, you have to be pragmatic in this situation. So there's really not much room, and if there is generally there is consensus on the most likely successful solution. Okay, so it's really about recognizing what is working and what is not working, and then there's not really much room for arguments, I would say. So yeah, that's it.
Okay.
It's that easy.
Anyone else want to jump in on that? Nope. Nobody else has any disagreements in the heat of the moment, which is awesome. We'll see. We'll see if that lasts this weekend.
Yeah, so I can jump in if you want to.
Yeah.
If you don't mind. Yes, actually, we don't really have any disagreements or some kind of offensive stuff in our team. We have a lot of discussions during the preparation and during the development of our algorithms regarding how it should work, what the requirements of the race, and how can we overcome them. But when we are prepared, everything is smooth and fine, and we are all synchronized in our team.
Very good, very good. So, we know that Carnegie Mellon University joined the championship this season, and we really haven't seen too much from them. And they're working on a kind of an all new approach to how they kind of figure out the challenge of Roborace. we're going to do a little bit of a feature this weekend on in our Twitch streams to kind of tell our audience a little bit more about what they're up to. Just kind of curious for all of you is like, you know, they're trying this new novel approach, and are you kind of concerned what they might come up with someday, or you just kind of keep your head down and mind your own business and create the best platform you can and see whatever else anyone can do?
Yeah, so can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, so in our case, of course, it's quite important what the other teams are doing, but still you need to focus on your plan. So you need to do step by step and increase the complexity like the challenges are, but maybe also they are doing some quite good stuff, because then you are quite focused on the final goal to get cars racing at the high limit and not to do this step by step. So you can more focused and you are not, let's say, like you don't need to spend time for the races, because it's quite stressful to get all the things running for the races, and when you don't need that time, you can spend, I would say, much more time for the algorithm development. But of course, you're losing days on the track.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of it's an interesting compromise.
Yeah.
And someday, I guess we'll see who had the best strategy. So we're looking forward to that. That's one of the things I like about Roborace is, hey, there might be a completely different way to do this, and also a different strategy to get there. So let's see what happens. That's the fun part of what we're doing. Just a couple more questions, and then we'll wrap up. So this particular mission, we talked about dynamic objects and how you had to deal with those. We talked about the testing. Is there anything about this particular mission that keeps each one of you up at night? What are you most concerned about? Danilo, want to start with you?
Yeah, so in general, for this particular mission, we're rolling out some new updates, and these are some fixes for previous issues that we had. Yeah, so it's a lot of new things, and as you mentioned, not all of this could be tested as much as we wanted. So yeah, this is what concerns us the most, because at this point we are like in simulation. I think all of the teams are achieving pretty good results, but bridging that gap, simulation to reality, is it's a different challenge. So yeah, this is our main concern at the moment. So this is why tomorrow more would be helpful for us. Let's hope it goes well.
Marcus, how about you?
Yeah, so in our case, it's similar to Danilo. So in the simulation, it works very well. So we are avoiding all the obstacles and overtaking cars quite fast, and also we have fast lap times. But the biggest issue we have is that the computing platform in the car doesn't have that much computing power. So we need to decrease the functionality of the algorithms so that they're able to run on the car, and then we're getting issues based on that. So it's a hard task for us now.
Right. We have a good fix for that for season 1, but we're doing what we're doing right now. So
of course, every team needs to handle with that.
I'm sorry, Marcus. What?
Of course, every team needs to handle with it, and still it's quite powerful, but we don't have lightweight algorithms, so they need too much power. That's our fault. So,
well, good luck with that. Ilya, how about you? What keeps you up at night about this mission?
Yeah, Chief. As I said earlier, we had only one test session, and during this test session on the car, we faced strange behaviors that we didn't see before. We didn't notice this behavior in simulator, and right now, tomorrow run, testing run or mock-up run, will show us either we fix it or not, because we made some changes in our code, and in simulator, in hardware in the loop, also everything goes smooth and well. but they sure only reproduced one on their track testing time. So tomorrow we will see, will it happen again or not? So that's what keeps us up at night.
Fingers crossed. And Alexei, you seem to be full of confidence. Does anything keep you up at night?
So yeah, actually, just the bottom line. Lack of testing, I mean track testing, is like we can feel it honestly, and we really want another one testing session to tune our parameters and choose the right strategy. Now we don't have an ability to do that, obviously, and also I would say edge cases. When we introduce dynamic objects in Metaverse, it's really quite hard to simulate all the possible scenarios during the race. I mean, different gaps between obstacles. How can we squeeze between them, and like all of this stuff can happen. And we've tested a lot on our simulator. We have like 100 or more scenarios passed, but this really doesn't prove that all the possible scenarios are covered. Yeah, so that's the main like questions.
I had one more question about sleepless nights.
Yep.
So for this season, we decided to go to a double header format. So on this weekend, we have a round 5 on Saturday, and then we have round 6 on Sunday. And our reason for doing that is when we had single headers, there's so much that happens from the human perspective in kind of putting a car out there and kind of choosing your strategy and how aggressive are you going to be and what you're going to do with the run. We would end up single headers, and teams would always come to us and like, oh, we should have done this, or we should have done that, and we could have done this differently. So we decided to extend the agony a little bit longer and say, okay, your Saturday one, we're going to give you a second chance on Sunday. So in the double headers that you've done so far, what is that overnight like between the first round and the second round? So in other words, what's this Saturday night, September 13th, going to be like for you?
So yeah, this is the easiest question for me, honestly.
You know the answer to this one.
I mean, it's all about strategy. So we don't have an ability to like redevelop the software or tune the parameters a lot. We have only small small improvement points, and we have only one log to check and to have like the best guess for tomorrow's run, and that's basically it. So our evening with between the runs we spend discussing the best strategy for the next run.
Again, piece of cake. Anybody else want to chime in on this Saturday?
Yeah, I can add from my side. So it depends on the result that we will have during the Saturday. So if we have some issues, then it will be a sleepless night. If we have a good run, then we know that we need to change maybe some parameters and run on and have the next run on the Sunday. So it all depends on the results.
Very good. Marcus or Danilo, any thoughts on that as well?
Yeah, I totally agree with Ilya. So you can't change a lot or you need to change a lot of things, or you can't, because it's running. Like last race, we thought, okay, this will go quite a second run, and a lot of it happened like planned before, so you can't predict.
Right.
So I don't know what I'm going to do on Saturday or on Sunday, and let's see.
Well, Danilo, same?
Yeah, Chip, I'm thinking it would be fun to have a camera pointed on the team on Saturday night. That's I'm not suggesting to do that, but it would be
Yeah.
fun to have.
That's a good idea. Who knows what we would see, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, for everyone out there, thanks for listening, and all of you, thanks for taking some time out of your preparations to talk to us. We will be live on Twitch this Saturday, September 13th, and Sunday, September 14th. It is a great way to spend Valentine's Day. So by all means, everybody come out and check it out. And you just go to Twitch, go to the Roborace channel, and check it out. We look forward to seeing all of you there. For all of our teams, I wish you the best of luck in testing tomorrow, and we'll probably swing back with just a quick update for our fans with how things went in testing. So thank you very much, all of you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Chip. Good luck, guys.
Yeah. Best of luck.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Cheers.